I'm Ed Pizzuto, Director of Audience Engagement at the Broad Museum, and I'm speaking with LA artist Yann Novak about his installation Stillness, which took place on February 15th, 2015, in the museum's third floor gallery. An aspect of the building's design that contributes greatly to the museum's popularity are the 280 skylights that form the ceiling of the third floor galleries. The design of Diller, Scofidio and Renfro harnesses Southern California's sunlight so that visitors are always aware of the external environment, such as the position of the sun or the atmospheric conditions, which, though constantly changing, also have a still quality in the galleries. There was a moment in the building's construction when the third floor galleries were built, but the art walls were not yet installed. Then Elizabeth Diller asked the museum to host an opportunity for the public to experience this unique design aspect. The inspiration to present Yann Novak's expansive art piece Stillness as Broad was to accentuate how the quality of light transforms visitors' perception in the 35,000 square foot column-free space as the sun moves across the building. So thank you, Yann, for speaking with me today about Stillness. Perhaps you can tell us about your inspiration for making Stillness and how you created the imagery and sound for the work.
Thank you, Ed. I'd be happy to. For the inspiration of the piece, I kind of started to look at the two climates that I had inhabited. I had just moved to Los Angeles, so I was just kind of grappling with the 275 days of sun and 70 degrees. I had just moved from Seattle, where I, for 8 years, had dealt with 270 days of clouds and rain. And so I thought that was kind of an interesting jumping off point to explore these kind of still not changing but changing spaces. And that kind of brought me to using these photographs that I've been taking of horizons for many years in Seattle, for many months in Los Angeles, and trying to find a way to distill the experience of that, the color, the change, but at the same time make it imperceivable. The technical aspect of the video was to take all those photos and kind of blur them together side by side, so each one kind of bled into the next. And then instead of using that as kind of panorama or something, because it was horizontally really, really wide, I took slivers of that single file and turned each sliver into a frame in the video. So it went from this massively long file to hundreds and hundreds of stills that then were just faded one into the next. And so it was this way of turning this kind of linear image left to right into an experience of time. All of my work also features sound, and I was really interested in playing with sound, and that led me to recording the same radio station in both locations, but a radio station without any information. So it's just the static. The idea was that the atmosphere of the Earth actually changes radio wave. Your ability to tune into the radio changes due to precipitation, clouds, all these different factors. And so though I was recording static, there was this poetic idea that it was different static in each location because of the vastly different environments. I then used digital processing to both enhance the differences in those recordings and also accentuate my own interpretation of the two moods of the location. And that's really kind of how the piece all came together.
And it worked incredibly well in the installation at the Broad. It was really an immersive experience that made you keenly aware of atmosphere and the effect of it on you. Could you say a little bit about how the installation at the Broad affected you and the piece and its future?
Absolutely. It was an amazing experience and a kind of a dream come true. I had made the piece 5 years prior to the Broad show. I had showed it once in London in a small gallery that actually couldn't accommodate it as a diptych. So we showed the LA version over 1 month and then the Seattle version over the second month. I had always kind of envisioned it being this larger piece. I had never quite envisioned it being this big, which was a very exciting challenge to take on. The other thing that really changed about the piece was at the beginning, it was all about solving a problem of how to take video out of a narrative space. I didn't really realize how much it actually did that until seeing it in this scale where it really could kind of envelop you. So presenting Stillness in the Broad, for one, was a kind of a moment to actually see this idea through, see it materialize and see it actually work correctly. It also really fed back into the intent of the architecture of the Broad, where both the light through the skylights and the video are both changing imperceivably slow, yet the audience is somehow always aware of the change. So it really brings both elements, then and now, just the architecture, kind of bring the audience into the present moment and allow them to experience that present moment.
Thank you, Yann, and please enjoy Stillness.